My bad, folks. This stuff is so interesting. Check this out. All right. Well, the audio, I did the audio check. Let me, let's go. All right. Didn't mean to do that like that, but okay. All right. All right, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Welcome back, people. What's going on? How you feeling? Hope everybody's good. What is up? This is the Tim Black Show. I'm your host, Tim Black, and we're now streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook is back today. I didn't do anything different. So, sorry about that, Facebook. Things just didn't work last time for some reason. Facebook wasn't working with my software. So today it seems like it's working. I also like to give a big hello to people on Periscope. What up, Periscope peoples? How y'all feeling? All right. Let's go and check. Make sure that, it looked like it's working on Facebook. Let's go make sure, guys. Let's give Facebook people a little bit of love there. What's up, Jennifer and Jen and Veronica and John and Richard and Dana? Dana. What's up, Dana and Maggie? Glad to have you here. Margarita Silverpots is in the house, as is George Scheller and Nicole and Jason and Heidi. Zara, Curl, what's up? Glad to have you. What's up, Steven? Steve Wolfbrandt, Scott OG, Curl, Richie Wilson, Sandy. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know it's a little later, Dolores. How you doing, Dolores and Jean? But hey, Jerry Katz. Yeah, don't worry. I got you. I got you, Jerry. That's what we're leading with tonight. Jerry's putting up the imagery or link for a Joe Biden story. So we're going to get ready. Share this on social, guys. Please share this on Facebook. Also share this on YouTube, guys, and on Twitter. Hey, what's up, YouTube people? How you doing? Allison and Joe and Candy and Katrina and Tatiana. Gamer for life. Good to have you guys as always. What's up, Brad? Alitaron. There we go. What's up? What's up, Mike Sarvis and the whole crew? K2, Michelle, Gary, Robin, Mercury, RX. What's up? What's up, Wolfpack? How you doing, Bruce? What's up? All right. Token. T-Man. S.A. Bien Tatiana. I like that. Bien. Y tú? Crazy Peaceful, Rebecca Henry. We need some Crazy Peace. Letitia Cortez, Tanya, Nathan, and Thomas and Shelly. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are great. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Hey, anybody else just feel totally off kilter? Anybody else? I'm feeling so like just weird. It's just like, what's the word for it? Just totally like not in the zone. And don't get me wrong, I feel good. I don't think I'm sick or anything, but I just don't feel, I think it's just this change. I got a house, I got kids that usually be at school. Or is it now they would be on break, wouldn't they? I don't remember. Or is it too early for break? I don't even know. I don't even know what day it is. I mean, this is crazy. I know I'm not alone. I know you guys feel the same way. It's like every day I told my wife, it's just like a long weekend that I want to end, but it won't end. And usually I like long weekends. So, guys, if you're feeling a little discombobulated, whatever, look, you're not alone. We feel the same way, all right? Let's feel that way together. Let's get into this. Now, I got a couple stories I want to get to. I want to bring you up to speed on that may not have been touched on in the mainstream media. One of them, definitely not. One of these stories I'm about to hear ain't been touched at all. So, and I'd like to start with that story, by the way. I'd like to start with the story of Alexander Tariq. You're gonna get to know that name very intimately over the course of this show, and I don't think you're going to soon forget it because it's the story of a young staffer who worked for Joe Biden back in the 90s who was sexually assaulted by Joe Biden. That's the allegation. That's the allegation. She says, good old Joe, working class Joe, everyday Joe, middle class, working class, milk box, lunch pail, Joe fighting for the working class, fighting for the working people. That Joe Biden sexually assaulted her, humiliated her, touched her inappropriately, penetrated her. I'm going to play for you. I'm going to play for you a clip, right? Let's make sure everybody shared this, right? Because we want people to know about this. They need to know what this great progressive candidate did. Everyone needs to know about Great Joe, about how this amazing Joe, the Joe, I know Joe. We know Joe. You know him, huh? You sure you know him, James? You sure you know him? I know Joe. We know Joe. And Joe knows us. Well, okay. I'm going to hold you to your word there, James. Mr. Clyburn, sir, I'm going to hold you to your word. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold you to your damn word, sir. I want to introduce you to a lady that says she knows Joe. Maybe a little differently than you know Joe. Okay? All right. Her name is Alexandra Tara Reid. She goes by Tara Reid. Okay? Tara Reid recently gave an exclusive interview to a friend of mine, a friend of the show, Katie Halper. Katie is great. Known Katie online for years. Always admire her work. She did a podcast. She did an interview with Tara Reid. I think it was Wednesday. And she broke this story, guys. Ryan Grimm wrote about it in The Intercept. Subsequently, Tara Reid went on the Rising with Saagar and Crystal Ball today. Here goes a clip of Katie Halper interviewing Miss Reid, where she lays it out for you in a way that's so there can be no question about where she stands.
But Time's Up, Ryan Grimm reports, was concerned such a political story involving a potential presidential candidate could affect their nonprofit status. So here, Tara finally tells the rest of the story that she hasn't been able to tell in the past. Not surprisingly, there are no witnesses to Tara's story of alleged assault, but Tara's brother and Tara's close friend, both of whom I spoke to, recall Tara telling them about the incident at the time. Here is an excerpt. I'll be releasing the full interview shortly, and this opens with Tara describing a superior calling her into her office to ask her to do an errand. So she says that she
called me in and said, I want you to take this to Joe. He wants it. He wants you to bring it. Hurry. And I said, okay. And it was a gym bag. She said, take the gym bag. She called it athletic bag. And, she said he was down towards the Capitol and he'll meet you. And so I went down and I was heading down towards there. And he was at first talking to someone. I could see him at a different distance, and then they went away. And then we were in like the side. It was like the side area. And he just said, hey, come here, Tara. And then I handed him the thing and he greeted me. He remembered my name. And then we were alone, and it was the strangest thing. There was no like exchange really. He just had me up against the wall. And I was wearing like a skirt and, business skirt, but I wasn't wearing stockings. It was kind of a hot day that day, and I was wearing heels. And I remember my legs had been hurting from the marble, of the Capitol, like walking. And so I remember that kind of stuff. I remember like I was wearing a blouse, and he just had me up against the wall, and the wall was cold. And I remember it happened all at once. The gym bag, I don't know where it went. I handed it to him, it was gone. And then his hands were on me and underneath my clothes. And, and then he went down my skirt, but then up inside it. And he, penetrated me with his fingers, whatever. And, he was kissing me at the same time, and he was saying something to me. He said several things, and I can't remember everything he said. I remember a couple of things. I remember him saying first, before, like as he was doing it, do you want to go somewhere else? And then him saying to me, when I pulled away, he got finished doing what he was doing, and I kind of was pulled back. And he said, come on, man, I heard you liked me. And it's that phrase stayed with me because I kept thinking what I might have said. And I can't remember exactly if he said I thought or if I heard, but it's like he implied like that I had done this. Like, I don't know. And for me, it was like everything shattered in that moment because I knew like we were alone. It was over, right? He wasn't trying to do anything more, but I looked up to him. He was like my father's age. He was this champion of women's rights in my eyes. And I couldn't believe it was happening. It seemed surreal. And I just felt sick because when he pulled back, he looked annoyed. And he said something else to me that I don't want to say. And then he said, I must have looked shocked. And he grabbed me by the shoulders. I don't know how I looked, but I must have looked something because he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "You're okay. You're fine. You're okay. You're fine." And then he walked away and he went on with his day. And what I remember next is being in the Russell building, like where the big windows are and the stairs by myself. And my body, I was shaking everywhere and it was cold all of a sudden. And I don't know, I felt like I was shaking just everywhere. And I was trying to grasp what had just happened and what I should do or what I should say. But I knew it was bad because he was so angry. Like when he left, like I could feel, you know how when you know someone's angry, they don't necessarily have to say anything. Like he smiles when he's angry and you can just feel it emanating from him. Like,
do you want to share that thing that you said you don't like? You said like I don't want to say what he said. That thing he said to you.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I mean, you don't have to.
It's okay. It's just it's almost like giving a weapon to them.
How so?
Well, it's like I don't want them to know how much it hurt. I don't, I don't want him to know I don't know. But
that you remembered it.
Yeah, just I don't know. But yeah, I can say it. Yeah, there was something he said that I didn't want to say, and I didn't want to say it because it's the thing that stays in my head over and over, and it's a thing that kind of stayed with me over the years. But he said, when he had me against the wall after I pulled away, and he had said, "Hey, come on, I heard you liked me," and I knew he was angry right after he took his finger. He just like pointed at me and he said, "You're nothing to me." And he just looked at me and he goes, "You're nothing, nothing." And then I must have reacted. And I think he only said it twice. I said, but I just heard the word nothing. And I must have reacted because that's when he took me by the shoulders and he said, "You're okay. You're fine. You're okay." But then afterwards, like it kept replaying in my head. And like last April, when all that stuff came out, I got really, really sad about it. And the thing that I remember most, almost more than the assault itself, was just being told I was nothing. And he was right. That's how people treated me. That's how office treated me. And I have no platform. I am no one. And to him, I'm nothing. So, yeah.
Right, that was tough stuff to listen to. That's pretty sad and disgusting stuff to hear. Much worse stuff to actually go through. Situations like this, we should all think of people that we love being in similar situations, and how will we feel about that then? All naysayers, imagine it being your daughter or your wife or your mother or your sister. And that kind of should bring you back out of reality. And if that doesn't work, just imagine it being you, and then maybe you'll give a damn. But the thing about it is, this is an allegation being made. Sounds very credible to me. Sounds very detailed. Katie Halper today released the full interview. It's an hour long, very detailed, very, very descriptive, leading up to everything in the office environment, to the aftermath when she reported it. She did report it as sexual harassment, Johnson. So there are people who don't read the articles, maybe not read the articles, sort of like read the headlines and just assume, oh, she just brought this up today. That's interesting. No, she actually reported it before then. She reported it back in the 90s. She told people about it in the 90s. And when Lucy Flores, who formerly, she made some allegations herself about Joe Biden's inappropriate touching, she came out then too. This was back in April, I think. And she was quickly dismissed as being a Russian operative. Because we all know anybody who says anything about anyone in the DNC works for Russia. Or they work for Trump. Very quickly, everything very quickly panned is that. I myself am a Russian bot, if you don't know. And, and don't let the fact that I grew up in Maryland and was born in D.C. fool you. Yeah, man, I'm Putin's friend, man, because Putin just loves black boy-headed guys from the D.C. metropolitan area. Man, he just, woo, yeah. And that's just what they've been using to shut everybody up. So, Miss Reed this is not new. What this is, okay, damn it, people need to listen to this. This needs to be taken seriously. Here is, let's see.
But Time's Up, Ryan Grimm reports, was concerned.
Let me take that off. Here goes, let's see, do we have? No. Now, we need to remember, guys, let's try to remember who we're talking about here. There goes Tara Tweets. Reed Alexandra, right here on Twitter. We follow each other on Twitter. I want people to know, and I want to frame this the correct way for folks. And I think one way to do that is to remind people. Let me remind you that we're not talking about Joe Biden today. No, we're not talking about this Joe Biden. Right? We're talking about Joe Biden in the 90s. 1993 is when she says this incident took place. So I want to make sure people know who we're talking about, and sort of like this. Let's look at Joe, 93, 2003, 20. Yeah, almost 20 years ago. This is a little bit different guy, right? Here goes Joe Biden 20 years ago.
We must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
Yeah. So I feel the same way Joe felt in the 90s. I feel like I don't care why he did it. No, I don't care why he did it. I don't care what led him down this path where he was touching women. I don't care what his influences was. I don't care what he was thinking at the time. I don't care what happened in his life. I feel the same way. I feel that he should be taken off the street. Just like Joe felt the way about teenagers. That's who he's talking about in that video. On the Senate floor, he's talking about teenagers who need to be locked up forever. Because they might take a lead pipe to his mother. His mother was never attacked with a lead pipe by random teenagers, but that's neither here nor there. It's all sensationalism to demonize people. Back to this. Tara Reid, why didn't people help her? Why isn't her story out? Why aren't people talking about it? Well, she went to a couple of organizations. She talked to some folks. Around the same time that Lucy Flores told her story about Joe Biden, about the same time that happened, she said, well, you know what? Ms. Reid said, you know what? I need to go out. I need to tell my story. I need to back her up. I need not let her be the only voice on this issue. And a number of women came forward and said that Joe Biden had inappropriately touched them, or Joe Biden, or whatever. Joe Biden was handsy, something to that extent. She told a piece of her story which that matched what had happened to Ms. Flores, plus she had filed a contemporaneous complaint, and there were witnesses. So she considered an allegation bulletproof. Oh, people got to believe me. I filed a report. I have witnesses. I told people about it then. I'm telling people about it now. And then she gave an interview to a local reporter. The short article brought a wave of attention on her, along with accusations that she was doing the bidding of Russian President Vladimir Putin. So she went quiet. You may remember that The View, Sonny Hoiston, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, they talked about Lucy Flores on the show. And with no evidence at all that Lucy Flores had exaggerated the situation or wasn't being truthful, they decided right there on that show that there's no way Joe Biden could touch a woman inappropriately. It's impossible that Joe Biden could be inappropriate. Not Joe. He's such a nice guy. They still have shows, and they still give their opinions. Well, after seeing that, what happened to Ms. Flores, and after being labeled a Russian bot, she decided to go quiet again. Now, I'm reading an article from The Intercept. Ryan Grimm wrote this article. Shout out to Ryan Grimm. Reid supported Elizabeth Warren and then later supports Bernie Sanders. She thought about what the world she wanted her daughter to live in and decided that she wanted to continue telling her story and push back against what she saw as online defamation. That's right, Johnson. They doxed her for talking about Joe Biden. Yeah. So she contacted Time's Up, the organization that was raised a lot of money online to help women to end sexual harassment of women in the wake of the Me Too movement. This would help, survivors and give them the ability to tell their stories. The Time's Up Legal Defense Fund was the recipient of an outpouring of donations over the past 2+ years. It's set up as a 501(c) nonprofit housed within the National Women's Law Center, launched in December 2017. They famously raised a record whopping $24 million online. So big, and they spent over $10 million put aside to help accusers, to fund PR work for accusers, to help accusers tell their stories. In January of this year, Ms. Reid, she spoke with a program director at the NWLC, the National Women's Law Center, and was encouraged by the conversation, and they told her to talk to Time's Up. Okay? So these are the steps that she took in order to get the message out. But turns out Time's Up director Sharon Tiani said that no assistance could be provided because the person she was accusing, Joe Biden, was a candidate for federal office, and assisting a case against him could jeopardize the organization's nonprofit status. So it could be construed. Let me make this clear, okay? The fact that they are a 501(c), they're a nonprofit to help women. If they got involved, Joe Biden being a candidate in the Democratic race, some would frame it as if it was like opposition in a political contest. And that would put it in a different category, which could cause them to lose their nonprofit status. So I don't know if that's true or not. It sounds credible. It sounds like I could see people making a claim. I mean, if they're going to call Miss Reid a Russian operative because Joe Biden touched her, and inconveniently for them, Joe Biden happens to be running for president, and she's going to be called a Russian operative with no evidence at all of Russian operative stuff, of course, they'd be very easy to frame this all as political, and the Time's Up organization is using itself as a political instrument in order to hurt a candidate, and it's no longer a nonprofit. It's in the actual political business, the political space. So I don't see it unreasonable to say that, yeah, that might be an issue for Time's Up, because they'll use whatever they can to defend good old Joe. Because like James Clyburn said, I know Joe. We know Joe. And Joe knows us. Yeah. I just find it, first of all, I find it disgusting, right? I find it disgusting and despicable that allegedly Joe Biden did this. I find it very hard to look away from it. I find it that we need to stand up to it. I think we need to have more people discuss it. I think that the independent media is going to lead the way on this, which we lead the way on all things that are debilitating to the establishment, that the establishment is too cowardly or too biased to cover. That's what we do, right? But we have to cover this story. It's an obligation. And that's why I want to support everyone getting the word out, spreading this, making sure people know that this cannot stand. And look, even if CNN and MSNBC and ABC and CBS, all the other corporate media, even if they refuse to cover the story, you can bet one thing and one thing for sure. Donald Trump ain't going to refuse to touch the story. Yeah, Donald Trump is not going to sit back on it. He's not going to be squeamish talking about it. They tried to destroy Donald Trump because he said what he could do. I wonder if Donald Trump will have an incentive to destroy Joe Biden by what women actually said he did. And there goes your moral high ground, Democrats. That one thing you were kind of holding on to. Because there's no excitement surrounding the Joe Biden candidacy. There's no energy around his campaign. It was all about, we just need Joe in there because we got to get rid of Trump because Trump's so horrible. Well, what happens if people can make the argument that Joe Biden is as bad as Trump, and some would say worse? Yeah, it kind of goes away, doesn't it, Johnson? The whole, we need to right the ship. We need to just come together as Americans. We need to just build together. We need to be our true selves. We can always, there's nothing ever nothing that we can't do. Anything we want to do, we can do. Yeah, we see that now, Joe. You can do whatever you want to do, and you were doing whatever you wanted to do for a long time, Joe. That's what it looks like to me, Joe. Once Joe Biden be forced to have to address this issue and it not be pushed under the rug by a bunch of women who want to kiss his ass instead of deal with the issue. How about some women who have courage and heart and empathy actually hold Joe accountable and ask questions and make him answer those questions without defending him, talking about he's their old grandpa. He wasn't always a grandpa, Johnson.
We must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons.
There's going to be a town hall tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CNN Town Hall, where Joe Biden will be able to talk meander, I should say, be able to meander from subject to subject as they discuss or try to attempt to get Joe Biden to discuss the situation with the coronavirus. How much do you want to bet? I think Anderson Cooper's going to be hosting this. Former Vice President Joe Biden will participate in the CNN town hall Friday night, focused on the coronavirus and other stuff that he just wanders into. The coronavirus pandemic, a CNN Democratic presidential town hall with Joe Biden, will air at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and feature questions submitted by individuals living in some of the communities hit hardest by the coronavirus. How much you guys want to bet that old Anderson won't be asking this question? Yeah, I got a feeling he won't be asked about Miss Reed.
Reassess the recommended period for keeping businesses shut and people at home. Are you at all concerned, as Trump said, that we cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself?
We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what. No matter what. We know what has to be done. We know you have to.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, we got to take care of the cure, because that'll make the problem worse no matter what. Yep. Not very lucent, is he? Yeah, the only issue, well, I don't know if it's an issue. One of the things, and it's going to be interesting about this, because at some point it will get voiced, I think. It may be voiced about Joe Biden and his allegations, or he may have to actually respond and actually be questioned about Tara Reid. He might not even remember it. I mean, he's so many things that he forgets. So many misremembers and so many just absent thought, slippings of thinking and incongruent thoughts that he has in his head. I mean, maybe it's possible he doesn't even know where he is right now. Which brings me back to the same old story, which is how this guy became the nominee to these people who want Bernie to drop out. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. That's their guy. That guy right there. The guy who can't answer a sentence. And the guy who needs to answer for Tara Reid and answer for these allegations. Yeah. So anyway, we'll be covering this tomorrow. Phone lines will be open tomorrow night on the show, where you can call in and voice your opinions about Joe Biden yourself and whatever other issues you want to talk about. But I'd really love to hear what people think about Joe Biden and about Miss Reed's allegations about it. Yeah. They're going to talk about the coronavirus, Johnson. I find it interesting as hell that, yeah, like it's really interesting the way they cover this stuff, right? So we got some people that have been fighting to get, to get some type of remedy set up to help people who are struggling, really struggling right now because of the coronavirus, because of everything shutting down, people having to stay home, people being worried, the anxiety level, the stress level, everybody off kilter, everything upside down. People really worried. And then we have people that are blaming Bernie Sanders for not fighting her. Guys, I don't know what else to say, man. I know I'm a broken record on this thing, but it seems like, Elizabeth Warren is out to lunch. Joe Biden can't be counted on to do anything. He looks like he may be a degenerate at the top of it all. And then we have Bernie Sanders fighting to make sure that unemployed people and gig workers can actually be able to feed themselves, and we got people complaining. It just doesn't make any sense. Let's take a look at this, man. That makes sense, guys.
And now I find that some of my Republican colleagues are very distressed. They're very upset that somebody who's making $10, $12 an hour might end up with a paycheck for 4 months more than they received last week. Oh my God, the universe is collapsing. Imagine that. Somebody who's making $12 an hour now, like the rest of us, faces an unprecedented economic crisis with the $600 on top of their regular unemployment check, might be making a few bucks more for 4 months. Oh, my word! Will the universe survive? How absurd and wrong is that? What kind of value system is that? Meanwhile, these very same folks had no problem a couple of years ago voting for $1 trillion in tax breaks for billionaires and large profitable corporations. Not a problem. But when it comes to low-income workers in the midst of a terrible crisis, maybe some of them earning or having more money than they previously made, oh my word, we got to strip that out. Got to tell those poor people that no matter what. And by the way, when the McConnell bill first came up, unbelievably, and I know many Republicans objected to this, they were saying that, well, we want to give whatever it was, $1,000 or $1,200, but poor people should get less. You see, because poor people are down here, they don't deserve, they don't eat, they don't pay rent, they don't go to the doctor, they're somehow inferior because they're poor, we're going to give them less. Well, that was addressed. Now everybody is going to get the $1,200. But some of my Republican friends still have not given up on the need to punish the poor and working people. You haven't raised the minimum wage in 10 years. Minimum wage should be at least $15 an hour. You haven't done that. You've cut program after program after program, and now, horror of horrors, for 4 months, workers might be earning a few bucks more than they otherwise went. Well, needless to say, this.
Wow. Yeah, that's the guy they want to drop out. That's the guy they want to drop out. They want Bernie to drop out, and they want to keep Joe Biden, alleged fingerer of young women old enough to be their daughters. And this gets worse than that, too. They muscled her out of her job, too. And then muscled her out of her career, basically. She can get another job working on Capitol Hill because she told. So these people that say, oh, my God, why didn't she tell more people? Yeah, she lost her job and lost her career effectively because I don't know if you know, I do because I live in D.C. and I've worked in D.C. my entire life. If you work government contracting and particularly in politics, there's one particular place to be, and that would be Capitol Hill. If word travels fast about you as a troublemaker, particularly in the 90s, God, come on, guys. But we had these people that say they're advocates for women who are not. So anyway, Bernie Sanders there advocating for all of us, fighting a good fight on the Senate floor, giving them the right there, Fred, giving them the business, laying it down, speaking up for you. You're not there to speak for yourself. And they could have invited Tim Black, but you know. But this next best thing was Bernie Sanders there, more coherent, less lashing out. You know, I would have told them all they were some scumbag sons of bees and, you know, some mofos. But anyway, there is Bernie doing a great job of laying out. These guys are scumbags. They don't even want to give you the $1,200. Other countries are giving their people $2,000 a month. They've agreed to do it. You got to beg for $1,200, and then they'll see what they can do. Meanwhile, they're going to bail out the corporations, like the airline industry. Because people don't want to fly if they're going to sit in a box of death in the sky. Maybe not a good idea. So meanwhile, while Bernie's fighting for people on the Senate floor, we got people here still so butthurt over the campaign, over their person endorsing Joe Biden, or their person going to CNN or working CNN. It's like they blame Bernie for that. Everything. This is blame Bernie. Blame Bernie for what? Not getting a better deal. For being one person in the Senate and not getting a better deal for us. By himself. Folks, it's lunacy. You got a fighter for you, and because they can't do everything, you throw them to the wolves, and you leave the wolves alone. Here goes Bernie Sanders
And now I find that some of my...
Here goes Bernie Sanders giving the business to Trump, as Trump gives you stupid solutions.
Easter Sunday, and you'll have packed churches all over our country.
What he is saying is totally absurd and extremely dangerous, and it is an embarrassment that the American people have to be told to completely ignore what the President of the United States is saying.
I would love to aim it right at Easter Sunday, so we're open for church service and services.
Sure thing. Oh, yeah, come to church on Easter. Sit next to somebody else. Why don't you spread the virus so that we'll never get rid of this pandemic?
I would love to have the country opened up and just raring to go by Easter.
You are talking about a president who is speaking in opposition to all of the major medical advisors in our own government and in this country.
No one is going to want to tone down things when you see what's going on in a place like New York City.
You got a president who is arrogant, who is ignorant, who is self-centered. And to me, I mean, this is as dangerous as he gets in suggesting people to defy what the healthcare experts are telling us.
I think people might get the misinterpretation. You're just going to lift everything up, and even somebody's going like that. That's not going to happen. It's going to be looking at the data.
I think it would be a beautiful time. I just thought it was a beautiful time. It would be a beautiful time, a beautiful timeline. It was based on a certain level of weeks from the time we started. And it happened to arrive, actually, we were thinking in terms of sooner.
You have all over the world, countries, obviously including our own, New York, Washington State, the whole country, dealing with a pandemic, with a huge increase in the number of people who are infected, people who are dying. And what all of the experts tell us is that we need to distance ourselves from each other. In many states now, people are being asked to stay home. Congregations should not be any larger than 2 or maybe 10 people, and keep your distance.
I'd love to have it open by Easter. Easter is our timeline. What a great timeline that would be.
It is in defiance, and dangerously in defiance, of what the medical experts are telling us. This is a moment when you got to listen to the epidemiologists, you got to listen to the infectious disease experts. We got to do what they say. And what they're saying is, right now, we have got to do everything possible to prevent the spread of the epidemic. That means social distancing. And social distancing is not being packed into a church or any other room where you can infect somebody else, so that we never get an end to this epidemic.
Wow. Donald Trump is an embarrassment to all human beings. And he's an idiot, but he's more than an idiot. He's a dangerous idiot. Because people actually listen to him. They actually think he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't, Johnson. Well, let me correct that. He does know what he's talking about. He don't care if you die, dummy. You morons think he cares about you. He put you in harm's way to get his economy going again. Meanwhile, we got a lot of people. You just be a casualty. It'll be all good. We got Republicans right now. I covered it on Tucker Carlson. The Lieutenant Governor out of Texas, Patrick. Old people are expendable. How is Donald Trump any different than that guy? He's not any different at all. Why Easter, Donald Trump? Why? It sounds beautiful. It just sounds beautiful. That day sounds great day. Oh, it sounds great. It would just be beautiful. Why? Because it would be beautiful. See people at church. They'd be at church worshiping. They're at church. At church. Is that based on any data? Do you think it'll be safer by Easter? Maybe we'll have contained the virus? No, it'll just be a good date on my calendar, on my blickety blocks. I have a little chalkboard in my bedroom, and on that chalkboard I have pictures. It would be nice. It would be nice if we went back to work on Easter. Based on no science whatsoever. And what's appalling the most of this shit? There are people who call themselves leftists or progressives. They're really libertarians who just don't like who want to not build a wall. Basically, this is calling you what you really are. You're a libertarian who doesn't want a wall. That's what you are. But they give Bernie more of a hard time than Trump. I'm telling you, man, they really like Trump. They said Bernie, they shit on Bernie because they said Bernie didn't do enough to stop people from having to go out and vote. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, as if Bernie runs the elections. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wants everyone to go back out to work, and they don't say shit. Where's their segment boiling Trump's blubbery ass for trying to get people to defy the orders of the Surgeon General? Just because it would be nice. It would be really nice. Boy, man, making money is really important. People need to... I like money too, but maybe a soul should cost more, be worth more than that. So it's a dangerous, beautiful time. It will be a dangerous, beautiful time. All the cadavers, all the dead people, all the funerals. It would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. All the infected. There'd be more room for my casinos that don't make money.
The jobless claims just coming in at a staggering 3,283,000. That is how many Americans filed jobless claims last week. This shatters records and paints a bleak picture of the effects of the pandemic on the U.S. economy.
You hear economists who are throwing around numbers like 14 million layoffs by June. I've seen numbers even bigger than that. But the question here, this is not a normal recession. This is an on-purpose stopping of the economy. And Jerome Powell, the Fed chief, was on the Today Show. What a sign of the times, right? The Fed chief on the Today Show. He was on the Today Show this morning talking about how the Fed is building a bridge. The Fed and Congress are building a bridge over this period, and the economy will come back when the virus is under control.
We have to get back to work. Our people want to work. They want to go back. They have to go back. And we're going to be talking about dates. We're going to be talking with a lot of great professionals. But this is a country that was built on getting it done. And our people want to go back to work. I'm hearing it loud and clear from everybody. So we'll see what happens. We're going to have a lot more information early next week, and we'll be reporting that back. But I just want to leave it with you. We have to go back.
Yeah, I want to leave it with you that we have to go back. I'm hearing everyone's telling me they want to go back to work. They just want to go back to work. Yeah, did they want to go back and die, though? And I question if you're really hearing everyone say that. Who's everyone? Who is this everyone? You're president. Who do you talk to? It's not like you're hanging out. You can't be in groups of 10. So where are all these people that you're bumping into, you lying, pea-brained bastard? Where are all these people that you're bumping into that just can't wait to go back to work? Who are these people? No, you're getting phone calls from people from big corporations who want their workers to go back to work. That's the difference. That's different. That's not the workers. That's the owners. The bankers, you bastard. You scumbag. That's who's calling you. You don't talk to workers. The sad thing is that there are some idiotic Trump supporters and some goofy leftists, too, call themselves leftists. What I call them, libertarians with a fetish for not having walls or whatever. Those guys, who give them a pass on it? I won't give them a pass on it because this ain't a Trump show. This ain't a Democrat show. This is truly an independent show. That happens to think Bernie Sanders is the best for the country. He stopped being the best for the country. This won't be a Bernie Sanders show, supportive show anymore. It'll be Fight the Power show, and we'll just do that. What we won't do is camouflage the truth in order to make people feel better. What we won't do is kiss nobody's ass. And what we won't do is come on and treat somebody with kid gloves. So good thing we got some people that are fighting for the people. Some of those people, just like I stated, happen to be Bernie Sanders, who's refusing to drop out. In fact, Bernie Sanders, though he's been called every name in the book by so-called leftist scumbags, losers, assholes, jackasses, for money, for viewership, he's refusing to concede. Get it out, Tim. He's refusing to concede to the point where he wants to have more debates. Yeah, so they all jump behind Joe Biden, and the caveat is, well, Bernie's going to endorse Biden too. Not if he can beat his ass, he won't. And you know how I know? Because he's still in it. He's still in it right now. He's still in it. He's pushing for more debates right now. Because he's not a coward, because he's not a weakling, because he does believe that he could be a better president than Joe Biden. And he doesn't think Joe Biden has the spirit of aloha. Joe Biden had the spirit of touching somebody's hoo-ha. I don't know about the aloha spirit, but he has the hoo-ha, touch a woman's hoo-ha spirit without her permission spirit. That's the spirit he has. That's a good joke. Disgusting, sad. Here goes them talking about Bernie Sanders in a debate that should happen. Probably won't, Johnson.
Now move to the 2020 presidential race. Former Vice President Joe Biden says there is no need for any more Democratic debates. Those comments come a day after his lone rival, Senator Bernie Sanders, said if there is a debate in April, he'll be ready.
Dealing with this crisis right now, I haven't thought about any more debates. I think we've had enough debates. I think we should get on with this.
Biden leads Sanders right now by more than 300 delegates, but so far the Vermont senator has given no clear indication he plans to drop out.
Yeah, giving no indication that he plans on dropping out of the race, Johnson. Kind of puts a little ripple in your little narrative that Bernie's the fault. It's Bernie's fault your person endorsed Joe. He's still in it. They could have endorsed Tim, and then if Bernie lost, they could then endorse Joe Biden. Like, you could have went with your heart, and at the end of the day, go with your career. Like, after you went with your heart. But the point is, you don't really have a heart. You have talking points, a narrative. Now people see that for what it is. And now all of those people that were behind that are exposed. You really think they had no inkling that this is who this person was? You really think people had no inkling what really these people are about? They intimately met these people. I've dealt with them only tangentially, and I figured it out. You mean to tell me you don't think they really know these people are full of shit? You don't think anyone knows that Yang is full of shit? You really think no one knows that Yang is full of shit? Really? Really? You really think they are that masterful in hiding their true intentions, their real selves, their real motives? You really think that they're so masterful? Or is it possible people that know these people just lie for them because it's lucrative for them? Is it possible? Huh? Are we getting this? You really think people are so duped who know Tulsi Gabbard was so duped, they were just taking, there's no way they could see it. There's nothing that they could tell. There's no hints at all that she would fall in line with Joe Biden while we're still holding the primaries. We still got people to vote, and you think he's just so, I hear it all the time, he's just so confused. She's so attractive that he just lost his mind. Oh, she's so attractive, he just loses me, you can't think, and he just hates the Democrats so much. And get out of here. These people, we're talking about grown-ass people, man. Grown-ass people who've been to school and walk and chew gum and everything, dress themselves, drive cars, get up on stage and do stuff and talk and make video content, produce, edit, But they can't like look a person and be like, wonder why he did that. And they're intimately acquainted with these people, and you think they don't know what's going on. Really? Cognitive dissonance, man. See, people are what they do, not what they say they are. It's about what they do. That's who makes you who you are. So Bernie not dropping out shows who he is. Marianne Williamson endorsing him says who she is. Bill de Blasio endorsing him says who he is. Because it's not easy. It's uncomfortable. It may hurt you later. Susan Sarandon standing up says who she is. It costs something. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's right. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's right. So, this coronavirus thing is a serious deal. It should be a game changer. Now, I know I reported that Donald Trump's shooting up in the ranks in the polling because people think he's doing a good job handling the coronavirus. And you would too if you watched Fox News and didn't watch anything else. You think the same thing. You'd be like, wow, my president's really doing a good job because you're watching Fox News. Who lie for him? Who make up stuff for him? Who form the narrative from a position of making him look good? That's the directive handed down. That's what they follow. That's the business plan. That's the business plan, guys. So these people have business plans. On our show, our business plan is tell the truth, damn the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That's the only business plan. It's not get this person on the show. It's not pick up 20,000 subscribers by doing this, doing that. It's just tell the damn truth. Let it sort itself out. We've already had a career working for big companies. We're good. We know what that's like. It's fruitless. It's voidless. It's vacant. It's vacant. I don't want it. I'm good. So if you believe Fox News, you believe Trump. But the coronavirus is serious business, guys. What's happening is serious business. It is not a hoax. Some people are so busy dumping on Bernie Sanders, they give Trump a pass for saying this was all a hoax. You know how many lives it cost? Where's the videos on Tom Perez pushing the vote? Where's the videos on Simone Sanders and Joe Biden lying? Simone Sanders went on TV and lied and said the CDC said it was okay for those people to get in line in Florida. And now we got people who are sick in Florida, who now have the coronavirus possibly because they listened to Simone Sanders and went out there anyway. Vulnerable people who went out there, who may have had pre-existing conditions or what have you. Some of our seniors went out. Seniors did their civic duty, as Simone Sanders says. Easter would be good, though. Easter would be a good time to go back to work, Johnson, because the jobless numbers hurts his rankings if the economy's down. Might not win re-election. That's the real reason. So yeah, Joe Biden still ducking Bernie Sanders, who is so scared of Joe and so weak and won't call Joe out. He's so pathetic. He won't do anything. Tell you what he didn't do. He didn't end his campaign. He didn't say he had the spirit of aloha. Didn't go on talking about open borders on Breitbart. Has a few more black people on staff who told him not to, say stupid shit. So anyway, I'm just saying, man, I'm tired of it, man. The gloves are off, man. We're in a pandemic. And Bernie's coming on. He's live streaming every day about it. And I don't know where your people are, whatever. And why would they have a town hall with Joe Biden talking about the coronavirus? Joe Biden looked like he got the coronavirus. What's he going to say? Talk more about the soul of America and the we need to all be the guiding light and platitude. Bernie was fighting to make sure that people who are gig employees who drive Uber, Lyft, of that nature are able to get unemployment insurance and able to get money so they can live indoors during the pandemic. I think it's only customary to do a little clap like, yay, Bernie. Thank you, Bernie, for fighting for people. And he got a win, too, guys. Oh, they said he could never win. He won something. He won you more money on your check. A lot of people are not going to get money, man. They're not going to get sustenance through this damn pandemic. You know, I think they're trying to get black people to kill themselves too, man. There was like these rumors going around. I reported it on it before. They were saying there was a rumor going around that black people couldn't catch the coronavirus. Yeah, there were black people. There was a rumor going around. I know it's crazy, white folks. I know it's crazy. They were saying black people couldn't catch it because they got dark skin. Like somehow the corona would bounce off my forehead because I'm black, you know. Tim Black's black forehead makes corona bounce off it, you know. Crazy shit, guys. Like, and then when black celebrities start saying they had the coronavirus, idiots, morons, started telling people, oh, it's just a hoax. And I think these celebrities are being paid to lie about being sick. So, growing up, there was a rap group called the Ghetto Boys. I think they still perform. Actually, they still perform. I love them. I love the Ghetto Boys. You can feel the hand of the dead body. And especially Scarface. Scarface is my guy. So Scarface, who recently entered into politics, as did Willie D. Rest in peace to Bushwick Bill. Scarface did a video, and if you don't know who Scarface is, very popular rapper, man, been doing it for decades. He posted a clip. He did an interview with Willie D on his YouTube channel. Shout out to Willie D. And I just want to make sure people know that this shit is real. Here goes Scarface talking about having the coronavirus and what that feels like.
Wise, as far as like the type of pressure this thing has put on your body, because a lot of people are still under the notion that somehow these celebrities are getting paid to say they have coronavirus.
Yeah, okay.
Somehow this stuff is not real. And
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, let me save your life, homie. Let me save y'all life, man. Like this right here. Uh-oh. Let me save your life, man. Don't play no games with it. I woke up Sunday morning. I had an itch in my throat. Called my doctor. He got me some Zithromax, Z-Pack, and some prednisone. Right. Take that. Come Thursday, my fever just kicks in, bam, 100, 101, 102, 103. Fever going up out the roof, right? This Thursday. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I go to the ER, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I get in there, I'm freezing to death. They stick these needles in my arm and start running me IVs through my IV. They ran antibiotics through my veins, through my IV. I couldn't take it. Okay, so they run me 3 or 4 bags a day of that shit. I leave. I go in Sunday, Monday. I'm out Tuesday. That next Friday, I'm back in sick, even sicker. That next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I stay in there till Sunday. They swab my nose, trying to find out if I got coronavirus, you know. Come back in there again that next Wednesday, Thursday, nothing. Last night they called me, tell me that at 11:30 at night, mind you, I'm in the bed, sleep. Said that I tested positive for the for the COVID-19, right? Now, I haven't been nowhere. I've been in my house.
Well, yeah, it looks like those people who said that black people can't get this coronavirus are idiots, and their minds playing tricks on them, and so is their stupidity's playing tricks on them. 101 to 103 degree fever, sore throat. He went on to talk about vomiting, couldn't keep anything down, being sick for like a week. Went to the doctor. They didn't even test him, it sounds like, the first time. They just gave him some stuff, patched him up. He went home. He came back sicker than he was the first time. And then after another week, they finally test him, and they realized it's a coronavirus. Anyone with a fever should be tested for coronavirus. It's just what should happen. And Trump should be putting in an initiative, what's it, that production order, where he could, get the companies to produce these devices, all of the equipment that the nurses. And you imagine being a doctor or a nurse and you don't have any protective gear? We have nurses right now wearing trash bags on top of their clothes because they don't have the hazmat suits. But we got a Space Force. So don't tell me not to blame Donald Trump. And don't tell me it's all the CIA and the deep state. He really is a jackass. All right? He's a motherfucker. He really is, man. He really is. Because any human being would do more than say, let's get back to work. Come on, guys, let's get back to work. Come on, get up. Everybody get back. Well, you got work to do. What are you doing? Hey, we may lose some of you, but we don't want to lose our way of life. So get out there and die for your country. They're talking to poor people. Meanwhile, Trump will be in the White House, well protected, away from all you peasants. Him and Mike Bloomberg, oh yes, the peasants. Here on the Bloomberg Company, we will stay away from peasants and those people who are disgusting and who may cough on us. We must stay away from them. I could have had the coronavirus, but Sylvia caught it for me. Isn't that right, Sylvia? I pay her so substantially that she took care of my virus for me. Right, Stanley? Good job, Stanley. Stanley's acting as my stool as we speak. A little to the left, Stanley. The other left, Stanley. Sturdy, Stanley, very sturdy. So these rich bastards, they don't care about us. They just watch us die and keep it moving. They want to population control us anyway. There's too many people walking around. It's too much going on. So anyway, so I just want to make sure that people knew that, nah, man, if you're dumb enough to think that your color of your skin or your accent or what kind of sandwiches you like or what kind of beer you drink or your zip code or any of that has anything to do that's going to hinder you or stop you from getting the coronavirus, you are an idiot. And I want to save your life, as Brad said, Scarface said, save your life by telling you anyone can catch this stuff. So one thing I will say that I find reassuring in Brad's story, Scarface's story, is his symptoms were very pronounced. So I know if you're like me, you worry about stuff. You're like, God, man, what's that? Oh, shit. Hope I don't got the corona, Sound to me like if you get sick, you're going to know it, Johnson. Now, I know some people don't have symptoms, so please don't take this and run with it. I understand that. But you can always have stuff and you not know it. I try not to fault people for what they don't know. That's sort of my way, but it's just those of us who are like me, who are Fucking paranoid, freaking paranoid, you know. Every little thing you do or feel, you think something's wrong. Well, believe me, if you are not asymptomatic and you get coronavirus, you will know. Brad goes through it in his video. Find Willie D's channel. Since he allowed me to play that without putting a strike on my account, please find his channel and follow him for more information. And at least watch that segment and get that viral. Tara Reid, young lady, treated like a piece of meat for Joe Biden, allegedly. You know, because the same allegedly they did for Donald Trump, right? And the same allegedly, you know, we give everyone, right? Right? Okay. I think she'll probably be on The View tomorrow, right? Like, I'm sure Joy Behar would love to give her a platform and support a fellow sister who, you know, I'm sure Whoopi, you know, Whoopi, everybody just calm down, Whoopi, will just love to address this. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. Okay? That's all it is. Miss Reed's not in the club. You not in the club. I'm not in the club. It is what it is, Johnson. Tomorrow will be Freedom Friday, where people get to call up to the show. Oh yeah, also, guys, know that Tuesdays now are Tim Black Tuesdays, right? So Tim Black Tuesdays, we do phone lines on Tuesdays as well. Due to popular demand, people not being able to get in on Friday, I had to make a second day for phone lines because we're getting bigger, and I want to make sure more people get an opportunity to voice or have their voices heard. I'm proud to say we're one of the few channels that offer this service, and we're doubling down. Not only are we going to continue to offer it without screening calls, but we're also going to double down and create a second day for phone calls. So I'm glad to have that, guys. Thank you for everybody who called up to the show. All my Wolfpack, Tim Black's Wolfpack, everybody who joined us on Patreon, thank you so much. I know things are tough, man. Johnson, I feel you, Johnson. I know, like I said in the beginning, we're all going through it. This is unprecedented, uncharted waters. People are worried financially. We don't know what. So anyone out there, reach out to the community. This is why we had the Wolfpack. Reach out to the community, and let's work together. Let's help each other out. That's part of what we do. All right, guys. Now let's go to Super Chats and read some messages. How about that?
Now to the 2020 presidential race, former Vice President Joe Biden says there is no need for any more Democratic debates. Those comments come a day after his lone rival, Senator Bernie Sanders, said
this crisis right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he did say that. You don't need no more debates. I might get exposed. Wouldn't want to be exposed for being a sack of Wouldn't want to be exposed. I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you, S.A. Hola, Tim. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. Muy bien. Johnny Newman. Tim, my father and I love your show. He became a fan when you were putting Amy K on blast. Thank you. Thank you. Some people got mad at me about Amy Klobuchar. Oh, and for the record, guys, if Amy Klobuchar, friends of Amy Klobuchar are watching, damn, I won't say that. It's my understanding that Amy Klobuchar's husband is sick. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Politically, I differ. Politically, I don't have any respect for Amy Klobuchar's policies or what she's about as a politician, but as a human being and as a wife and a parent, I definitely don't. I feel your pain, sister, and I'm sorry that your husband is sick. And I hope he, as well as I hope all who are infected with this deadly virus recover and come back stronger than ever. So, but thank you, Johnny. Ada Martinez, thank you, Ada. Richard Mays, what would Simone Sanders do? Nothing. Stuff him in the limo. Yes, she would. David Massell, thank you, David. Good to hear from you. Jim Garrison, we're talking about grown people, Johnson. Yeah, we are. Dave Massell, we are bigger. Yes, we are. Deborah Grossbatch, thank you, Deborah. Jenny Nix, thank you for joining, Jenna. And thank you, Jenna, for donating to the show, guys. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll do the same thing all over again. Shout out to people on Facebook, people on YouTube, and people on Periscope. I got love for you. Like I always say, no Joe, because there's no Joe, and don't let nobody take your cornbread, Johnson. Be safe. Not me, yes.